In the spirit of the 4th of July, I feel like it is only right to review Assassin's Creed 3 for Wii U. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I am a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Bringing the hit franchise at last to a Nintendo home console is a great honor, not to mention releasing it as a Wii U launch title. The Wii U version of Assassin's Creed 3 has only a few minor setbacks, but it still manages to hold up as an excellent game just like the game on other platforms. To bring you up to speed, Assassin's Creed 3 continues the series plotline of Desmond Miles where he and his friends are on the run from the Templars of a company called Abstergo. Once again, he uses a device called the Animus to explore the memories and events of his assassin ancestors, this time during the years of the American Revolution. Along with Desmond, players step into the shoes of the Native American assassin Ratonaketon, better known as Connor. The stories on both fronts do have their exciting parts, but then the slow pacing at the beginning as well as how anticlimactic it gets by the end prevented me from fully enjoying the story overall. It left me with a taste that is more bitter than sweet when I finally finished it. Connor is not my favorite lead character of Assassin's Creed because of how he rarely lightens up. Sure, he has every right to take action when his people are affected by the Templars' plot to take control of the colonies, but the odds of seeing Connor in a good mood feel like they're only once in a lifetime.
You're gonna have to try a lot harder than that to impress me.
Is that so, old man? Or perhaps we should step outside. I will gladly demonstrate how easily I could trounce.
Whoops. However, I admire him for his strong drive to fighting for justice and free will, some of the key qualities of an assassin. He also tends to be an excellent military strategist. We don't always get to see colonial America depicted in a video game, but if you ask me, Assassin's Creed 3 has depicted it beautifully while staying true to its history. Plus, since it's a Wii U launch title, it gets props from me for setting the standards for how graphically detailed a AAA title on the Wii U should be. In addition to meeting prominent figures such as Ben Franklin and George Washington, you will play out key events of the Revolution, such as taking a stand with Sam Adams and the Sons of Liberty as they dump tea in protest, and riding with Paul Revere warning people of attacks from the British. Compared to the previous games, Assassin's Creed 3 is a bigger and better open-world game. Now, in addition to free roaming within the cities, you can climb cliffs and trees as well as run and jump between branches and across rivers. The open wilderness is also as realistic as it is vast to explore. Seasons change, and there is a variety of wildlife you encounter. When you hunt out of the frontier, some animals don't attack but are quicker to escape before you can even get near them, while others are vicious attackers on sight if you're not careful. This is why in the game I prefer to explore on foot rather than on horse. While I like being able to cover more ground on horseback, it gets difficult trying to maneuver around rocks and ledges. While Connor explores colonial America, Desmond has his own present-day missions, taking place in locations such as beautiful Manhattan at night, and work very similarly to Connor's missions. Navigating the in-game world has been slightly improved in the favor of the player. For one thing, free running has been improved by adding chase breakers to escape enemies, and by letting Connor leap over short fences by holding down the A or B button while sprinting. However, pressing the ZL button to aim may give you a more dynamic third-person view, but it is the only way to let you use your ranged weapons, and the delay between pressing the button and Connor firing does not let the player attack quickly enough. It takes about a second to take out your pistol before firing, and a few more to ready your bow and fire an arrow. Using ranged weapons should have been as reflexive as in real life. Thankfully, Connor's melee weapons work just fine, my personal favorite being his assassin tomahawk. By the way, why switch it out with a different tomahawk if it already looks too cool to switch out? The combat is fun with very intelligent AI, yet players can manage in one way or another. The block and counter technique does not work with every enemy. Some have to be defeated by breaking their defense before you can kill them. You can also grab another soldier to use the shield to block incoming fire. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Along with the franchise's traditional gameplay style, Assassin's Creed 3 features a few other styles for a nice variety. You maneuver between and queue firing squads in one mission, and fire cannons to deal heavy damage in another. The game also lets you take on naval missions with your own upgradable ship. The naval missions were not too bad to play, but I expected to be given better control of the Aquila. You can change the direction of your ship to aim your cannon fire, but not its trajectory. And swivel gunshots are almost impossible to accurately pull off because of the clumsy, unstable reticle. Speaking of clumsy, I say the same with the controls for navigating the world map. Since the left stick is usually for movement, it really should be used to move around the map instead of using it to select what icons you see on the map. Using the weapon wheel, also clumsy. Holding down the R button to open a separate screen for the weapon wheel, navigating between then selecting weapons and tools with both analog sticks and the D-pad do not mesh well together. I will say though that one of my favorite parts about the controls is the quick inventory. It lets you carry 4 weapons and items at once, and then easily switch between them without opening the weapon wheel. For backup, you can also call on assassin recruits that can kill targets, accompany you during fights, and disguise themselves as fake British soldiers to fool the real ones into thinking you are being held hostage. These recruits are earned by completing liberation missions that free districts in each city from the Templars. There's plenty of replay value to keep you playing for hours. You can replay missions to complete missed secondary objectives. You can complete in-game challenges and free roam for all kinds of collectibles. Crafting in this game is very time-consuming, but worth completing all those homestead missions for. Complete more missions and you unlock more goods and materials to help craft more sophisticated items. The biggest advantage to playing Assassin's Creed 3 on Wii U is of course playing with the Gamepad. The Gamepad's second screen gives a bigger mini-map to navigate with. A few touch icons that let you call your horse and quickly select weapons in the weapon wheel are also included, but I would have liked the option to tap and drag weapons easily to your quick inventory. The remote play feature lets you play the game entirely on the gamepad and its second screen, although I shouldn't have to plow through menus just to activate this feature. There's also an optimized for the Wii U gamepad feature, which removes the game's HUD display for a clearer, neater view of the action on the TV screen. This option makes the game fun to play with the gamepad as your controller. Of course, if you prefer the feel of a traditional controller, Assassin's Creed 3 can also be played entirely with the Wii U Pro controller. The online multiplayer is here in full swing. It includes customizable characters and weapon sets, as well as multiple game modes such as Deathmatch, Assassinate, Manhunt, and the Wolfpack co-op mode. Compared to Black Flag's Online, the frame rate is smoother, and less suspended matches and connection issues make the game play very fluid. The only downside is that there is far less people playing online than before. Finally, Assassin's Creed 3 is the only Assassin's Creed game with downloadable content for the Wii U version. However, Ubisoft has only come out with just a 3-part DLC series and a few multiplayer packs. I would have liked to see more DLC for this game than what it has right now. The game definitely could use some fine-tuning to make it less stressful on the player. The outfits that you purchase at general stores do not appear at your homestead, so you would have to return to a store just to equip the outfit again. Expect some graphical problems too. The frame rate is not a constant 30 frames per second. I've seen a few more glitches in this game than in Black Flag. In one mission, horsemen pass by, but they are stopped by an invisible barrier long enough for me to approach. In another, Connor's hair suddenly becomes a buzz cut. Overall though, I had a real blast with this game. It is an epic take on the American Revolution, and is a welcome Assassin's Creed game in my book. And that's why Assassin's Creed 3, rated M for blood, intense violence, sexual themes, and strong language, gets an excellent 9 out of 10.